Hey guys, so I've been releasing videos on how to install Sol and CSP and how to configure for over 1 year now on Assetto Corsa, and today I'm going to try and put as much information as I can into one video. So if you are new to Assetto Corsa or CSP or Sol, or you're just not sure what's around at the moment, this video is the video for you. So there's lots of information in here, so do check it out right to the end of the video. As ever though, before we jump into the main video, if you are new here, do check out the rest of the channel, and if you're not subscribed yet, why not? It's free. Click on that subscribe button and get notified of all the new videos that are released every single week. Let's get straight into the builds then. So Sol is currently at 2.1.3 and you need that for all your different weather effects. CSP Public, that's the non-Patreon version, is 1.75. You do not get rain with that. And CSP 1.76 Preview is at 136. That is the Patreon version and you will get full rain effects with that. Remember, Sol does not bring rain into Assetto Corsa. It is CSP Preview. So if you're going to download the free CSP version, that is the version that gives you all the bells and whistles but without the rain. That public version is currently at 1.75. 1.76 is pretty imminent and I think it will land in the next few weeks. And clicking on that and clicking OK to download, you'll see Lights Patch 1.75 there, non-preview. That is the standard version of CSP. But remember, again, if you do want rain and Assetto Corsa to work with Sol, you need a CSP Preview Edition. So this is Ilya's Patreon page. It's a couple of dollars to support him every month. And you can see if you scroll down the post here, we've got a couple of the latest preview patches. Now, the good thing about being on this Patreon site as well is there's lots of information coming directly from the developer of this mod. But also there's a number of questions and answered. So remember, this mod is fully in development and it's work in progress. The next thing you're going to need is Sol 2.1.3. You can download this for free from Race Department, and again the links are in the description. Sol 2.1.3, remember this does not bring rain into Assetto Corsa. It's CSP Preview that does that, working with the Sol Weather Factory. So you can download it straight away from here. Click on OK. Now you will need to install this manually, and I've got a number of videos on my channel that show you how to do that. There's videos on this page too, and also do make sure that you read the installation instructions. It's vitally important that you do that. So it says here again, CSP is doing all of the work of rain effects. This is all in development, so Peter and Ilya are working very closely together. There's one of my videos that show you step by step how to install this. So if you are coming new to Assetto Corsa and you want to know how to install Sol and CSP step by step, drop onto my videos or drop onto these different pages. So in this video, I'm not going to go in step by step on Sol and CSP, but I am just going to show you the basics of CSP. Again, you may know this, but if you don't, this is really important. So as you can see here, I've got CSP 1.76 Preview 136 installed. And down on the right hand side here, I can click on any of the standard public versions and it will install it, downgraded successfully. Whenever you change a version of CSP, you will need to restart Content Manager, which obviously brings all this together and makes it easier to install and downgrade and upgrade different mods onto Assetto Corsa. If we open Content Manager up again, we'll see that 1.76 now has disappeared from the top and we are on 1.75. Now, if you are going to install one of the preview versions, you can only do that by dragging and dropping into Content Manager. So drop it anywhere in the screen there, 3 bars at the top, click on there, and then you're going to say update over existing files, the 1.76 Preview 134 that I'm using for this example, and click on install, and there you go. And again, restart Content Manager. You can already see though that it's saying currently active. So if we restart Content Manager now, again, we'll just click on the cross and let it restart. What this will do is this will make sure then that any changes that we've made to the mods or to the DLL files in the background are actually going to take effect properly. And also you can see now we've got 1.76 Preview 134 at the top of both columns. Let's talk a little bit then about the functionality that you've got with CSP and Sol working together. And again, if you are new to Assetto Corsa, this is really important. So I've got the main weather planner up on the screen at the moment, and I'll show you how to open that in a second. And you can see that you've got all sorts of different options here. Now, I have got a couple of videos on my channel that go through this in detail, but the main thing to look at is where the red bar is near noon next to the top green box. So because Sol and CSP are working together, Sol's controlling controlling the weather effects, CSP is controlling some of the physics and also controlling some of the rain effects. You've got this combination where as you change different weather pieces on here, you will get different effects around the car. This is really cool. Now obviously if I was to click on the thunder icon here, so this is a full thunder icon, you will see that eventually that the change of weather is happening, and you'll see some of the bars changing on the right hand side of the planner. You'll see the rain going up and you'll see the rain start to fall, and you can see that a little bit on the screen. The car windscreen wipers have started and Sol is controlling that through all of the different effects, and there you've got thunder and lightning. Now we can change this weather all the way through the thunder effects and the rain effects, so anything that uses water is using the CSP preview edition. If you don't have preview, you will get some of the noises and you might get some of the different changes in weather, but you will not see rain falling like this. This is still in development and only in the preview versions. One of the other things to point out is that if you do want all of the latest effects to work together, you need to make sure you've got the latest version of Sol and the latest version of CSP. They're both work in progress, but Sol 2.1.3 is very stable, and a lot of the issues that people have is when they are using different versions that aren't compatible together or aren't designed to work together in the best way. So always make sure you've got the best possible combination. That is all the latest files that you can see that I've got on the download links below. Next up, we're going to talk about some of the features that are in the very latest versions, preview versions of CSP. These are the Patreon versions, so I'm going to go through those in a moment. But before we do that, I just want to talk a little bit more about the planner and especially rain debug. So to get the planner up, you're going to go on the right hand menu when you're in Drive, and you're going to click on the planner icon. Now this heavy rain icon that you've got here, you can see the blue bar that's next to it, and depending what I click on, you can see that the blue bar goes up and down depending on how much rain it's going to actually pump out. Now you can change these values on the fly with this planner, and this planner that Peter's designed is absolutely brilliant for changing all sorts of different weather effects. So not only can you choose one of the pre-designed weather effects, you can change these bars on the right hand side, and you've got all sorts of things here, anything from the humidity to the wind strength and also ambient temperatures. That's ambient temperature and road temperature. Now rain debug is on my menu on the right hand side here, and if you haven't got that or you can't find it, if you press the four boxes at the top, you can scroll down and look at all the different apps that you've got installed. You can choose that and then you can pin it to the bar on the right hand side. Now rain debug is one of my favorite things to actually use, because not only can you choose the weather effect, but you can actually then debug the rain and change all the different wetness settings and rain settings on the fly. This will enable you even more to customize how Assetto Corsa looks. So you can see by clicking on debug and then clicking on debug rain and ticking that, you can move these sliders up and down. Now Ilya actually recommends that you have a 50, 100, 50, and that's the preset for what you get on here when you first go in it. But by moving these sliders up and down, if you look at the floor and look at what's happening there with the wetness, for instance, you can see you can have rain but with less wetness on the floor and with the same amount of puddles. But the bottom slider as well, you can move that up and down and actually change how deep those puddles are or how much water is on the track at any one time. With these three different sliders, you can create summer showers, you can create effects where it's just started to rain and it's just getting wet, or when it's just actually starting to warm up and that's changing the weather too. This is brilliant because it gives you a global customization to all of the wet weather effects that you've got with the preview versions of CSP, as well as the excellent planner that Peter's put together for all the overall weather effects. Really is cool. So there's so much you can play about with there to get those ideal race conditions if you're racing offline. Obviously this all works offline. In the new versions of CSP preview, there are actually more online features coming, so that's brilliant. Now the next thing to talk about is something that's happened very recently, and that's racing line. You're probably asking, why is the track green if you've not seen this? Well, this is a special debug mode that's in CSP settings and it's in rain effects. And what this does is the green track that you can see there is the full wet track. As the cars go over it, you can see that it's turning red in certain areas following their tyre tracks. that's a drier line. So this is going to be used with the extended physics that Ilya is building into the latest versions of CSP, and it allows you to have a full wet race where if you are not on the dry line, that's going to have a big impact on how you actually race in the race and what kind of grip you have. Now you're probably thinking, what are the extended physics if you've not seen this before? Again, if you're in Content Manager, go into Settings, Content Manager and Drive. And under Quick Drive, right at the bottom, you've got Allow to use patch car data to activate extended physics. If we click on here, that'll allow us then to choose that under the main drive menu for the car. So if we click on Drive here, you will see then under the car we've actually got Use Extended Physics Experimental at the bottom left hand column there. Now just a word of warning, this is experimental and you will get all sorts of different effects depending on what car you're using, if it's a Kunos car or certainly some of the modded cars, but it's definitely worth experimenting with. If you press the three dots next to that, you've got global Use Extended Physics as well, or just for the car, and you can reset all those. Extended physics is going to give you different grip levels depending on what is happening with the car, and these are all customizable at the back end of CSP. So the main reason for using this is that now you can actually put rain tires on some of the different cars, and this is only on a certain selection of cars, but it's trial and error. You can try them out, and also I think there's a list on the Patreon page. So if you click on tires here, look, I've got the Tatus here, the FA01, and if I go through the tire selection, I've actually got rain tires now. That is brilliant. So a lot of people have asked me with these, do these rain tires give you different grip? I know it's still under development, but this combined with the racing dry line is going to have some brilliant effects on the way that Assetto Corsa works in the wet. So Ilya is constantly developing this. It's all work in progress. But what I'm trying to do in this video is show you what's available right now and the current state of play in CSP and Sol. So this is all fantastic stuff, and a lot of people say to me, well, why do you support these modders and why are you supporting the developers of all these great mods? These are fundamentally changing what is still a fantastic sim racing game. In this video, I'm only really talking about Sol and CSP in regard to rain effects and water effects, but the work that Ilya is doing on all the different features of CSP and the work that Peter is doing on how the weather and the clouds work around CSP and Assetto Corsa is absolutely fantastic. I do hope this summary helps anybody that's new to Assetto Corsa, and if you're not new or just coming back to the game, gives you some kind of context of where we are with Sol and CSP. Thank you so much for watching, guys, and thank you for all your continued support. It's your community, and remember to check out the Discord and make sure that you check out all the online races that we've got there. I'll see you very soon.